What is up, guys? Justin here with my weekend pickups and finally some more garage sale pickups. I know it's been almost a month now without any garage sale pickups, and that's because the sales in my area have been pretty slow the last few weekends. But I finally had another decent weekend, and I ended up picking up quite a bit more stuff on Friday than I did on Saturday. So rather than break this up into like two separate videos or two separate segments or anything, I'm just going to throw at you all the footage I took while I was driving around both days, and then I will recap what I got. What is up, guys? Justin here. Hopefully coming back at you with another garage sale video. The last few weekends have been pretty slow in my area, but this morning, Friday morning, looks semi-promising actually. My major lead for the day is a sale that said they had an original PlayStation in games, a Gamecube in games, and an Xbox in games. So I'm going to head up there first and see what kind of deal I can get on that stuff. So I am currently camped out for this sale up here. Obviously nothing going on right now, but that's a sale that said they had the GameCube and the PlayStation and stuff. It's not scheduled to start until 9, and it's, as you can see, not even 8 o'clock yet, but I have a hunch that they might start earlier, like around 8 o'clock, because the sale that actually stopped it down the street was already going on. I actually picked up a jam box. I already have one, but mine's a little bit smaller than that, so maybe that one will be a little bit louder. It was 20 bucks, so it's still in the box and everything. I'm crossing my fingers for some luck at this sale. So, GameCube here, and he just went in the house to get a boxed NES. A boxed NES. Well, we definitely loaded up at that sale. It wasn't exactly cheap. Paid a little bit more than I wanted to, but I don't know. I couldn't pass up the boxed NES and everything, so I'll give you guys the full recap in the pickup video. Walking up to a sale that had advertised a DS system and games, see if they still have it.
Yeah. That's from, but are we taking these two?
With quality inspected classic rock. 906 rocks with WRDD.
You got a good garage sale going on there.
I hate walking away from a sale like that without buying anything, but the prices just weren't right. I mean, all the games were $5 or $8 each. They had the red Wii system there for $65. It had a pink Motion Plus controller with it, which I don't have yet. I asked them if they would just sell me the one controller. It had another one in there, the red one, and they didn't want to split it up. So I wasn't gonna go, I wasn't gonna go 65 on it. I mean, they had a pink DS Lite system for 20 bucks. I was tempted to buy that a Mario Kart Super Circuit for the GBA for $5, but it's like, it's an $8 or $10 game. So a little bit frustrating, but we'll move on to the next one. So Saturday morning, got my hairs cut yesterday. Today doesn't look as promising as far as the sales go. There's only like 4 or 5 of them listed, but we're gonna hit them up and see what we can find. So kind of interesting, first sale of the day, I got Final Fantasy on the PSP, but sitting right next to it was a GoPro. I don't know much about GoPros. I gotta talk to my brother about this one, but it's a Hero 3, and as you can kind of see, I kind of messed it up now. It was marked for $35. It came with this thing, I think, that goes to it, yeah. So I don't know, like I said, I don't know much about GoPros, but I have to think that's a pretty solid deal. And then this flip video recorder for $3. I don't know how good that quality is going to be, but it was only $3. So, as you heard in the intro clips there, number one destination for Friday was a sale advertising a bunch of different video game stuff. And so I made that my number one destination for the day, even though they weren't scheduled to open until 9 a.m. So I drove up there first thing, and unfortunately that sale wasn't open, but the sale right down the street from them that they were kind of advertising with was open. So I stopped in there, and that's where I got that jam box that I showed briefly. And I'm not going to show it again, but it was a pretty good deal for $20. So after I picked that up, I went and just camped outside of the video game sale.
And sure enough, just after 8 a.m., somebody came out and opened the garage door, and I walked up there, and we ended up striking a deal. So, I will start out by showing the first thing that I saw as I walked up there, which was the GameCube bundle. It was a silver GameCube system. It's got a Joytech memory card in the front, and it's in pretty good shape, you know, some scratches and scuffs, but it's got all like the port covers in the bottom and stuff. And that came with both the original adapters here and 2 controllers. Unfortunately, the first party silver controller is missing the rubber on the joystick here. But the other controller came with was a black Mad Catz controller. And I know I'm always bagging on like third-party controllers and Mad Catz stuff, but I've actually had some luck with these Mad Catz controllers for the GameCube, so I'm hoping that works. And then there was one game case included in this deal. It was the case for Mario Kart Double Dash, but when I opened the case, there was actually a few different discs in here. So what I actually did was I took the Mario Kart disc that was in here out and put it in the system. To avoid scratching it up any more than these discs already were. But realistically, I'm going to have to get these resurfaced because they're all pretty scratched up. I mean, they were just sitting basically loose in the case. But in addition to Mario Kart Double Dash, we got Need for Speed Underground 2, Wario World, and Mario Superstar Baseball, which has gone up in price tremendously lately. I was really surprised when I looked this one up. Anyway, that was all for the GameCube stuff, and so as I was kind of looking at that, you know, I asked him if he had any other video game stuff, and that's when he went into his house to get the boxed NES system that he said he had, and this is what he came out with. It was a boxed action set here, the one that came with the orange zapper gun, and so I've already taken some video of this a little bit closer up and with all the contents displayed so you guys can see what came inside of this. It obviously came with a system, and it had like the original instruction manuals and paperwork and stuff. It had both the AC and RF adapters and the orange zapper gun, but it did not come with either of the controllers. And for whatever reason, I didn't notice that at the time. Like, I took it apart at the sale and looked at it, and some of the stuff came in the baggies and stuff, so I don't know if I just assumed they were the controllers or what, but had I seen that it did not include controllers, I probably would have used that as a little bit of a bargaining chip more than I did. But anyway, it all ended up being in pretty good condition. I have not tested the system yet, but the box was in decent shape. I mean, the end that you can tell was open and closed a lot. It's a little bit beat up, but overall, it's a pretty nice condition action set. I've got a couple controllers that I can pair with it, and also the Mario Bros. Duck Hunt game was not in there, but I've got extras of those that I can use to complete that set. So that was the NES system, and then finally they had a PlayStation 1 system. Now originally I swore they told me they had like an Xbox and games and stuff, so I don't know what happened to that, but this was the PS1 bundle that I got. It came in this PlayStation Underground case here, and I believe the cords and controllers are right on top, so I'll show these first. Came with 2 first-party controllers here, and both the original adapters. And then here was the system here. It is a 7501 model PS1 system, and it came with a small stack of games, which I guess I'll show them quick since there's not that many of them, but these are really nothing too special. We got Wheel of Fortune, Ford Truck Mania, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, Tetris Plus, Die Hard Trilogy, Croc Legend of the Gobos, whatever, Frogger, Cool Borders 3, probably the best one that was in here, Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back, Namco Museum Volume 3, and the Rugrats. So that was everything that I got from that sale. Now, what did I pay for everything? And as I kind of mentioned in the intro clips there, it wasn't exactly cheap. So here's kind of the breakdown of what they were asking for this stuff. I believe they were asking $30 for the GameCube bundle, which wasn't a bad deal by any means, considering the games it came with, even though they were, most of them were disc only and kind of scratched up. But when he brought the NES out, he was asking $80 for it. So definitely a little pricier than I would like to pay at a garage sale. You know, a few weeks ago I laughed and walked away from an $80 NES system. But you know, this one was in the box and everything. And then they were asking $40 for the PS1 bundle, which I was almost more unsure of that than I was about the $80 NES. But I asked them, hey, you know, if I get all the video game stuff, like what kind of deal could you give me? So everything individually added up to $150. And the optimist in me was hoping he would say, oh, you know, how about $100 out the door, right? But he didn't. He countered with $135, so not exactly skinning too much off the original price for me. I came back at him with $120, and we ended up settling on $130 for everything. So like I said, way more than I would normally pay for this kind of stuff at a garage sale, but it's been a long time since I've had a boxed NES system, and I couldn't bring it upon myself to walk away from it. Realistically, I think the NES alone, you know, once I put some controllers with it in the game, is probably worth what I paid for everything, maybe a little bit more. So in that sense, I don't think I got a terrible deal. And in addition to that, the guy told me that, you know, he buys and sells at auctions and stuff, so you know, he knew what the stuff was worth. And so even though I paid a lot more than I normally would, I have to think that I got at least a decent deal on this stuff. And it was a pretty cool way to start the weekend. I mean, that was the first sale that I hit up for the entire weekend. So let me clear myself some room here, and then I will move on to what I got at the rest of the sales on Friday. So the next pickup for Friday morning was a single disc only game, which I probably already showed at the beginning, but it was a copy of Star Wars Battlefront for $2. They had some other like 360 games and stuff at the sale, but they were all like $10 or $15 each, so this was really the only one that was worth picking up. And then after that is when I hit up that sale that had all that video game stuff, like the Red Wii system, like the Pink DS Lite. They had, you know, a bunch of random games and some Guitar Hero stuff. But I didn't end up getting anything from that sale because, like as I mentioned, the prices just weren't right. And I mean, it's obviously frustrating to walk away from a sale that has a bunch of game stuff without buying anything, but if the prices aren't right, then they're just not right. So anyway, that was really all the garage sale pickups for Friday morning. But after that, I hit up the Goodwill. I didn't find anything, and I drove over to the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store and actually picked up a copy of Burnout for the Gamecube. This was mixed in with some other like sports Gamecube games they had. Unfortunately, it was a rental, so it does have a Blockbuster sticker over the disc there. The case is in decent shape though. I mean, it's not like sun faded or anything. This was $2.50, so I don't know. This was actually priced cheaper than like the sports games they had. They had like All-Star Baseball and stuff for $3.50, so I figured I'd grab this one. I don't have it for the collection yet, so I will hold on to this until I can find a better condition copy disc anyway. And then after that, I actually met up with somebody for a Craigslist deal. They had responded to my Craigslist ad and asked me what I was paying for like Super Nintendos and stuff. And he said he had some other like NES accessories and whatnot. So I just threw it a price of $30, and I didn't hear back from him until Friday morning when he said, hey, you know, I'm coming into your town or whatever if you want to meet up for $30. And I said, sure. So ended up meeting up with a guy and got for $30 a Super Nintendo system. It's actually in really nice condition. It was a little bit dirty when I got it, but I cleaned it up. There's no cracks or chips or anything, and the plastic piece is in the AC port there. And this came with a Super Pad controller that he says is broken, so I'm not really assuming this works by any means, but we'll test it out anyway. And it had both the adapters for the system, first party AC adapter and the RF cord. And then also in there, kind of random, was an NES Advantage controller, which is pretty filthy, so I'll have to clean this up. He did say that it worked though. And there was also a orange zapper gun in there. And there was a few miscellaneous like manuals and stuff for NES games in here. Probably my favorite thing I got with this bundle was the manual for Adventure Island 3. Kind of an uncommon game, so you know, I'm assuming a pretty uncommon manual as well. It's not in great shape. It's got like a fold in the front cover and stuff, but I definitely did not have that one yet. One of these Alien posters. We got the manual for Yoshi's Cookie, the manual for Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, and the manual for Alien 3. So the guy says that he finds stuff at garage sales, and he's got a buddy that collects, and so he sells him all the games. But he just had this stuff left over, and for $30, assuming the Super Nintendo system works, was a pretty sweet deal. So just when I thought that was all the pickups I was going to get for the day, I was on my way to work, and there was a sale that was basically on the way that was scheduled to start at 5 p.m. And I had to be at work at 4, but I was like, you know what? 3:45, I'll just drive by and see if anything's going on. So I drove by the sale, and sure enough, there was a lady outside setting stuff up. So I walked up there, asked if the sale was open, and she said, sure, come take a look. I asked her for video game stuff, and she directed me over to a stack of what looked like just Wii games. But when I got over there, I realized that in addition to the Wii games they had, there was one GameCube game, which happened to be Super Smash Bros. Melee. Unfortunately, it's not complete. It's just the game in the case. But the disc is in decent condition. It's got a few scratches on it and stuff. But as I mentioned the last time I found this a few weeks ago, anytime you find a Super Smash Bros. At a garage sale, it's a good day. So in addition to that, I also picked up for the Wii Rampage Total Destruction and Pac-Man Party. And then they also had a silver GameCube controller, which will go nice with that system that I got earlier in the day, because this one's in better condition. It's got the rubber on the joystick and stuff. And then I also picked up one of these Pac-Man plug-and-play systems. So I had all that stuff in my hands. She didn't have any of it priced. She was kind of in the middle of pricing stuff. So I asked her, what she wanted for it. She told me to make an offer. I said $10, and she seemed more than happy to take that. So yeah, even just for the Smash Bros, that was a steal of a deal and a great way to cap off the morning. It's not every weekend you get a 4 p.m. Smash Bros find at the garage sales. So anyway, I'm going to clear myself some more room here, and then I will move on to what I picked up on Saturday. Now, originally, I was not even planning to go to the garage sales on Saturday morning because there was only like 4 or 5, maybe 6 sales going on that I had not already hit on Friday morning. But I am very glad that I decided to go out because at the first sale I stopped at, which started at 7 a.m., I walked up there and I spotted a copy of Final Fantasy for the PSP. As you can see, it's marked for $3 there. It was complete and in pretty nice shape. But sitting right next to this was a GoPro Hero 3 camera. So there's the GoPro there. It came with the waterproof case and the mount, or one of the mounts here. And I don't know how good a video I got of this after I picked it up, but that whole bundle was only marked for $35. $35 for a GoPro Hero 3 was a deal I could absolutely not pass up. The only thing I noticed that was wrong with it is that it's missing the little USB rubber cap on the side there. But I've already gone online, ordered a replacement cap for this. I also ordered a 64 gigabyte micro SD card for it, and a accessory pack with some more mounts and stuff. So my plan is to get like a dash cam going on for when I'm driving around at the garage sale, so I don't have to use my phone anymore. So assuming all goes well, you guys might be seeing some higher quality videos of me driving around with the GoPro. I don't know, my brother's got like a chest mount and stuff. I might try that out at the actual garage sales, but I don't know how good that's going to look. I don't know, I'll experiment a little bit with it, but I was pretty pumped to pick this up for $35. So that was actually all I found at the garage sales on Saturday morning. But to end this video, I will show it's a Facebook deal that I picked up just earlier today. This is Sunday now that I'm filming this, but it was a Wii bundle that I saw posted on a local Facebook group, and I thought for sure this would have been eaten up by the time that I responded to the post, but it wasn't, and they ended up selling it to me. I got all this for $40, so it was a white Wii system here. I was just missing the cover on the top here, but I do have an extra one of these actually. I've gotten a bunch of Wii's lately that are missing like these covers, so I ordered a bunch of extra like replacement covers and stuff. So I've got one to replace that. Came with the original instruction manual, had both the cords in there, a couple controllers. There's a black controller and a white controller. I don't know if there's any nunchucks. Oh, there was one nunchuck in there. System came with the stand here, the sensor bar, and a plethora of Wii condoms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Wii condoms. And then there was a few of these Motion Plus adapters in there. But the best part about the deal was the games. Pretty decent stack of games here. I'll go through these quickly. We got Mario Kart Wii, which was complete and in good shape. Donkey Kong Country Returns, which was also complete. I'm going to be hanging on to this one for my collection. I did not have this one yet. We got Carnival Games, Just Dance 2, Just Dance 4, Dance Dance Revolution Hottest Party 2, Just Dance 3, Wipeout 3, and Wii Sports Resort, and Super Mario Bros. Wii, which, as you can see, this one has a $4 price sticker on it. I actually peeled these $4 price stickers off the rest of the games. They were all priced at $4. I'm assuming at a garage sale somewhere. And when I ended up picking it up, she was taking the sticker off the system. I didn't see how much they had the system price for at their garage sale. But apparently I missed that garage sale, because had I been there, I definitely would have bought a lot of these games for $4 each. And I don't know what they had on the system, but I ended up getting all that for $40, which was a pretty sweet way to top off the weekend. And you know, it's just refreshing to finally have another good weekend of pickups, seeing as the garage sales have been so slow the last few weekends. As I mentioned in the last video, it seems like after like the 4th of July-ish, the garage sales start going, you know, they're on the decline, but this just proves that there are definitely still deals to be had, and I'm gonna make the most of this garage sale season. I'm gonna keep going out until there are no more garage sales. So, thank you guys for sticking around and checking out this video, and until next time, take care.